Hello and welcome to our video. My name is Dionne Kress and I'm here with Brian Kempisty, owner and founder of Portex Logistics. I am the Chief Heart Officer of Portex Logistics and I work with the entire team and staff. Today we're going to talk about spreadsheets and strategy. So at Portex Logistics, Brian, your philosophy is we do not lead or manage by spreadsheets. So do you want to tell us what that means? Or talk a little bit about
I've worked with and in organizations that do manage by spreadsheets, and it just, to me, is cold, and they always miss the point, and they make short-term decisions based upon previous old data, and it never seemed to come together for me. So I always like to be a bit more strategic, follow the strategy, which I call that my plan. And hopefully, at Portex, we try to live by the culture, the service, the tech, our core values. And if we do everything that we're supposed to do, and we do right by our customer and collect bingos, the spreadsheet at the end of the month should tell us that we made money. And so far in 3 years, that strategy has been sound.
Yeah. Can you just mentioned bingos, just for potential new listeners, do you want to describe what a bingo is?
A bingo is any accolade that we might get from a customer, a vendor, even somebody internally that is wowed by our service or just appreciates the culture and the personal dynamic that we've created at Portex.
At Portex Logistics, we talk about humanness and treating people like humans with kindness and compassion. And one of the things that I found in just a quick article I was reading is that leadership and management there's a misconception that it is about goals and targets and numbers and spreadsheets. When if you actually think about what management and leadership means, it's about working with people, leading and guiding people. It's the softer side of business. And so there's like this misconception that we have to hold in organizations. People should be held to the goals and the targets of the spreadsheet, when in reality, and we've discovered this at Portex, when we treat people with kindness and compassion and we listen to their stories and we help develop them as human beings, the spreadsheet just fills itself out in a positive manner, right?
Instead of being negative and just beating down, well, you didn't make enough margin, or we didn't bill enough, or didn't make enough here, we're influencing people to provide excellent service through our actions. And by providing excellent service, the rest of it just takes care of itself. So, I always talk about influence and not telling people what to do. That's another misconception of, I think leadership, right? There's a difference between management and leadership. And a manager can tell somebody, well, do A, B, and C. A leader is trying to influence those people to do those things on their own without being a dictator. So that's something I always talk about, is influencing people and influencing outcomes rather than trying to dictate how it's going to end.
Yeah. And you and I often talk about the experience too, right? Like making sure people are having a positive experience, an experience of their own personal growth and development, which helps them to be positive. You talked about negativity, keeping them positive, which then translates into the customer experience, which is often positive, leading back into the bingos, right? So when people have positive experiences and we influence them in a positive way, then all of a sudden you get these accolades and you get this positive feedback and people want to work with you. And we shared that one story about Sarah on one of our conference calls this week, where she had built those relationships with that one customer, and then that customer went to another organization, and then she brought business to Portex from the new organization. So just having that influence and experience on people will lead to growth of the business and the bottom line of the spreadsheet.
Well, and the whole reason that, we started Portex for a variety of reasons, but one was to kind of change the experience within the drayage and the trucking world. And we've done it. And two, I wanted it to be pleasurable. I mean, when we started, I was 41 years old. I plan on probably never retiring. So if I work for another 30 years or whatever it is, I wanted that to be enjoyable. I didn't want it to be, a punch in the gut every single day and negative. And so, selfishly, I want to enjoy what I do. And that's why we're trying to create this environment at PortX so everybody can enjoy it. That's the customers, that's our teammates, that's anybody that we come in contact with.
So you and I put these videos together every other week and just sharing our experience of leadership, working together in an organization. You're building out an organization. What insight would you have, or what wisdom from your experience could you offer an organization that might currently be leading by spreadsheets? Like, what would you tell them?
Well, I mean, first I would come up with a sound strategy for your specific business or your industry that you think is missing in the marketplace. And then follow that strategy and, hold yourself accountable to stick to the plan over and over again. And don't let that spreadsheet at the end of a month really dictate what you're doing. Of course, a business needs to make money. But again, we talked about, if we do the right thing for our customers, we know the revenue and the profits will follow along. So stick to the strategy. And if you've got a sound strategy, the numbers should have worked themselves out.
So would you agree that I'm trying to think of the number of, I don't want to call them initiatives, but I guess bullet points on the strategy. I talked about those on the call yesterday, right? The soft touches, representing yourself as a brand ambassador, social media. I don't know how many there are. I can't think of that off the top of my head right now, but we kind of talk about those key components and what the team needs to be doing on a regular basis. Would you say that an organization should have, as part of their strategy, some really significant and impactful, let's call them success factors, for lack of a better word, that they just continue to lead and to continue to kind of coach their team on to lead to success? Do you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it's a continuous reminder, right? We do have those success factors. We have, what we want to do and create an enjoyable customer experience we always talk about. And then we've got those 8 to 10 success factors, like proactive communication, wow the customer with service, welcome them into our weird family. And bring the human element. So we talk about all these success factors every day. We've actually asked the people to start writing them down in their journal, one a day. And we talk about it nonstop so that a year from now or 3 years from now, we're not forgetting the foundation and the strategy that we built the business upon. So I think, some people would say, well, geez, you're beating a dead horse, and maybe we are, but we're making sure that we live those success factors and stay with that strategy, because we've got new people all the time. So a Danny and an Evelyn, they don't know. So we need to continue to lead by example and coach those success factors to get those outcomes. And then you talk about those initiatives. We look at things that we thought worked, and some of our random acts of kindness, right? That's part of getting an internal bingo, is a random act of kindness, but that's sending out cards, handwritten cards to our customers or teammates, or it could be an attorney that helped us with a contract. It could be a truck driver, it could be anybody. Like you said, the social media, the soft touches, being relevant in the marketplace. So we work on a lot of those things, and all of those things are backing up those key success factors. So whether it be sending out the card, whether it be a random act of kindness internally, whether it be sending our message out on social media, and those messages that we're sending out on social media are generally somewhat aspirational or inspirational on how we manage. Some of it is also being the subject matter expert. So the customers know that they can count on us, to get the information that they need to help them out. And that's whether we help them out or not, right?
Right.
We always say, if you need something, call me. And if I help you, I know it's going to come back, and I will be rewarded for that at some later date.
And those are all the softer sides of leadership, like I said earlier, right? Leadership is almost misunderstood as being part of a spreadsheet and specific goals and targets, but all the things that you just talked about are those softer pieces, right? The human relationships, the human factor, understanding humans, right? The experience, the influence. So I think that we can at PortX successfully agree as a leadership team that when we just treat each other like humans, including all of the customers, that it leads to success and profitability and productivity and all of our, I would say, I talk to the team twice a month, or not every day, just depending on where I am and who I'm talking to. They are all engaged and they're all, as you say, rowing the boat in the right direction and, filling out that spreadsheet in a positive way, and the profits are following. So I think it's all working.
We do review our financials. I mean, people out there should know that we don't just throw it by the wayside, not do it. We make sure that we manage the cash appropriately and have cash on hand for a rainy day. And we do look at the profitability, but I reviewed our September earnings, how we did for the month of September with Tim yesterday. And I think it lasted about 3 minutes. Okay, we did a good job. We had more customers. We made more money. Okay, let's move on to the next month. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. And it works, right? I think a lot of people or leaders or organizations can get wrapped around the numbers and, getting stressed out about not hitting their targets and their goals. But like you said, if we just focus on the right thing, and specifically now, I think what's going on in the world, people just want to be part of something, right? People want to connect. They're all a lot of people are still working from home, but just connecting with those people, with those soft touches, I think has a huge impact. So,
and especially when it comes to transportation, I think, I don't think people, if you're outside of our industry, you don't realize how hard these people work. And that could be our own people, our own drivers, our own dispatchers, our customers. These people are working 10 and 12 hours a day. And it's a grind, and it's a mental, it's very fatiguing mentally. And if we're going to bust our ass that hard for that long, we might as well make it pleasurable, right?
For sure.
And that's one thing that I think other people in the industry miss out on, because the people get run through the meat grinder and it's no fun. And then, they get, we call it chippy. They get chippy and it just makes for a bad environment. So if we're going to work this hard, let's have some fun while we're doing it.
So Brian, anything else that you want to say to, just in commentary here or offer out to the world about strategy and spreadsheets?
Make a sound strategy that is customer centric. Make it pleasurable for yourself and your teammates, and just stick to that strategy. Don't worry too much if you are, under budget or over budget, or over time. It will all work out. And you and I have talked about patience a lot recently, right? We've just stayed the course, stayed the plan, and been patient for 3 years, and we recorded our biggest revenue, our biggest profit, our most successful month in September. So just stick to the strategic plan.
Love it. Perfect. Well, thank you everyone for watching our video. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. For more information on PortX Logistics and my role as the Chief Heart Officer, check us out at the description below. Have a great day, everybody.